Melvin Sherman, this one's for you. Hollywood just can't help fart out sequel after reboot after remake, so instead of paying to see the new Jurassic World Rebirth, I opted to go do something more interesting. Hallelujah. Then I decided to rewatch the original Jurassic Park. Unfortunately, in my heightened state of inebriation, I realized that the first film in this near-extinct franchise is a woke feminist hyperbomb the size of a brontosaurus. Allow me to explain. The film revolves around an amusement park that will feature dinosaurs as attractions. Scientists have discovered a way to bring back these extinct creatures, and of course the best way to use that technology is to build Dino Disneyland. They also bring back some prehistoric plants, but never bother to explain how, and the paleobotanist doesn't even ask about it. But she's a woman, so instead of asking questions, she just goes, "Ooh, pretty flowers." The dinosaurs get loose and the humans find themselves in a race to survive. On the surface, it seems like a unique concept that'll make for a pretty good time at the movies, but there's a huge element of feminism shoved down our throat. All the dinosaurs are female.
That is one big pile of shit.
For Pete's sake, it's not enough that Hollywood is shoving strong female characters and girl bosses into every conceivable project as part of the agenda. Now even the fictional dinosaurs have to be female. And not just female, but clever girl bosses themselves. You see, Hollywood's been pushing feminist agenda to cater to modern audiences. The message to young girls is, females can do anything they want and be anything they want, which also includes dinosaurs who routinely outwit male humans. The very first scene in the film is a velociraptor killing a male employee, firmly establishing its agenda. Robert Muldoon is a game warden who's hunted almost everything that can be hunted and survived, only to be dispatched by the oh-so-clever female velociraptors.
Clever girl.
And the other straight white male characters aren't spared either. Dr. Ian Malcolm, the one who makes the most sense about the park being too dangerous, is attacked by the T-Rex and immobilized for the rest of the film. In contrast, Ellie Sattler, the only adult female character, trips and sprains her ankle, only to miraculously run around later.
That is one big pile of shit.
This is the movie's way of saying women are superior to men. Sattler is also the one to pretty much rip Hector Hammond's balls off when she bashes his plan for the park. Really? The man has funded and established a scientific breakthrough to bring back extinct species, but yeah, the flower lady gets to talk down to him. The lawyer dies pretty much immediately. Nedry crashes his car, which is completely unbelievable because he's not a female driver, and is also promptly killed by a female dinosaur. Mace Windu has his arm cut off yet again, and I almost gave the movie credit for having the balls to kill off the only black character. However, it makes a mockery of him as well in a scene where the 12-year-old Lex reboots the system, indicating she can do the job as well as he can. This is the same girl who decided to turn on a flashlight when a giant carnivore entered the scene, but we're supposed to believe she's a genius cause girls run the world. Her little brother Timmy, in contrast, is repeatedly portrayed as annoying, overly chatty, and unable to pick up on social cues, because even prepubescent boys aren't spared in Hollywood's crusade against men.
That is one big pile of shit.
But Boozer, you prehistoric professor of the popular, you're forgetting Dr. Alan Grant, who's not only shown to be quite knowledgeable in his field, he also uses his wits to save the day. Well, dear spontaneous viewer, I'd like to point out that the movie tries to make even him look like an idiot. The man's got a PhD, but he can't even put on a seatbelt. The movie also injects an unhealthy dose of gender politics, because all those boxes need to be ticked off after all. The dinosaurs eventually managed to breed, despite being all female. It's explained in some bullshit manner that they're able to change their sex in a single-sex environment, so that means there's probably a blue-haired transgender dinosaur walking around designing a new flag for Pride Month.
Yes!
Fuck off, film. The film also shows how absolutely impossible it is for a straight white man to go about his business without offending anyone. When the power needs to be restored, Hammond suggests he take care of it instead of Flower Lady, because he's a man and she's a woman. He's not doing this to say she's incapable, but rather to be chivalrous. Abandon ship, women and children first after all. But of course Flower Lady misinterprets this and accuses him of being sexist. Then she goes on her merry way, and he chooses to assist her rather than take in point. But this also gets him criticized by female viewers. Why? Because he's mansplaining. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. The film also features another aspect of the agenda, anti-gun policies. Notice that the only time a gun is fired in the film is in the first scene. When Muldoon attempts to fire off a shot, he's promptly interrupted by a raptor who was probably on a break from designing that transsexual flag. Flower Lady and Dr. Grant are in desperate need of a gun in order to fend off the raptors, but instead of grabbing it for them, Timmy feels the need to obnoxiously tap on his sister's chair. The entire movie would have come to an end sooner with an NRA endorsement and a few AK-47s, but that wouldn't sit well with modern audiences. The pink-haired Landwells and soy boys of Hollywood would rather have these characters remain in constant danger than to just solve the problems with some good old-fashioned click, click, bang, bang.
Not a great plan.
Another attempt to strangle a predominantly masculine element. Oh, and if you thought the film was done with Alan Grant, it saved the worst insult for him. He starts off as a man enjoying life in his element, not very interested in the idea of having children. He actually makes some pretty good arguments against having children.
They're noisy, they're messy, they're expensive.
Then the movie puts two children in his charge, because God forbid the woman is given that traditionally feminine task, and by the end of the film, he's apparently a better person because he's warmed up to the idea of having offspring, and the female girl boss smiles in approval. Because that's all men are good for according to Hollywood, catering to the whims of our female counterparts. Jurassic Park is no less a chick flick than Titanic, and all the arguments I've put forward prove that. Last call before I close up for the night. Rebirth seems to be flopping at the box office, which is no surprise since it has a female lead. I'll be happy to see this feminist disaster of a franchise put to rest and once again make way for superior male-centered cinema. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to go watch Predator to get a taste of this piece of crap out. Ah, Predator. You son of a bitch. Alright, show's over. Get out.